Expectations are just to progress throughout the season and reach our ceiling, and we'll see what that is. But we have a very good chance to be a great team. The personnel's already there. It's just a matter of us hitting our ceiling.
True to the smart three-pointer. Bang!
Brown throws it down.
Here's Tatum.
So the coach gets his first win of the season. They give him the game ball.
What is good? 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 What's good with y'all? CSGs, we in the house. We in the house. We'll go down, everybody. Did something happen today? I must have missed it. There's a lot of excitement in the fan base. Did I miss something? Did something happen? Did something happen? Did we hire a coach? Did we hire one of the top coaches in the NBA, one of the young prospects in the NBA? Did we hire one of the guys that I did not think that we'd be able to get? My God, we got Ime Udoka on the Rockets. When I heard the news, guys, I almost shed a tear. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is facts, Kevin. Somebody just said he's the anti-Silas. This is the antithesis, to Stephen Silas. With Ime Udoka, the antithesis to Stephen Silas. But man, I mean, we got a lot to cover. Obviously, you guys know my number one was Nick Nurse, but I'm not mad, bro. I'm not mad. This is definitely. I didn't think the Rockets had a good coach hiring them. Did not think so. Didn't think so. I didn't think we had the the closing ability. I thought it was all cap, all fluff. That we'd end up with, Vogel. I was preparing for Vogel. People were saying was going to be Vogel, but we got Ime. Circumstances led him probably to come here. I'm sure he would be preferably coaching the Celtics right now, but hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So yeah, how we feeling, man? Y'all let me know in the chat. How we feeling about Ime. Let me go to the chat. Just shout out some of the players in the house. Got my boy Scott Martin. Was good with you, man. Got the Udoka era beginning. Swaggy D was good, bro. Shout out Swaggy, always showing love. Sigga Miggs will go down. Will go down. Joe Blue will go down. Red Dragon will go down. The Real Marcus West will go down. The Urban Sprawl will go down. Zach Sane will go down. Shark Shock. Larry Etienne. JNRZ. Devin 95 will go down. Kevin Bumper was good with you, bro. Yasin was good. Was good with y'all, man. It's a new era, man. We might actually enjoy the games next year, goddammit. We might enjoy the game. We might just enjoy the games. And so first, let me give y'all my spiel on the Udoka hiring. So obviously the reason I wanted Nick Nurse as my coach because Udoka has a very small sample size, right? He has a small sample size as a head coach, so it's really hard to tell whether a lot of the stuff he did was because of him or was it because of just like the Celtics just having two All NBA players on there, basically, right? So if you think about it, they had the Defensive Player of the Year under his tenure, but Marcus Smart was not a slouch prior to him getting there. Jaylen Brown obviously is not a slouch. Jason Tatum was an MVP candidate. He coached there for one season, took that team to the finals, and y'all know my definition of a good coach, right? My definition. If y'all remember, I got two extremes how I judge a coach because most of in between in the NBA is really driven by players, right? Your players are going to drive you in order for you to like be a good team, right? If you have sucky players, 90% in the NBA, sucky players, they're going to be bad. Good players are going to be decent, but there's that 10%, right? There's the 5% at the top, 5% at the bottom. That you have coaches that overperform with bad teams, which Stephen Silas never did. He never overperformed with a bad team. Then you have the coaches that can push a great team to the next level. And I think that's how I judge a good coach. That's because the buttons you have to push, the adjustments you have to make. Yes, this is live. This is live, Louis. The adjustments you have to make, it's different, right? Because that's really what separates the men from the boys. And I think Ime has shown that he can be a high-level coach. Now, what he's running into for the Rockets is a totally different ball game, right? You're talking about coming from one extreme to the other, going from a situation where you've been part of a team that was ready made, set, built, to now going to the point where you are in a position where the team has to be built from scratch. Two totally polar opposites of extremes of coaching. So it's hard, honestly, to see what, as far as like the X's and O's and all that stuff, how that translates from Celtics to Rockets. I'm not even, that's really like, to me, that's the peripheries. To me, the biggest thing that Ime brings is presence over all the other candidates is presence. And the reason I think that the presence is so important is because of the makeup of our team. I mean, we're built with a bunch of young players. And what more do young players need than a strong presence to stabilize everything, right? When you don't have a star player on your team, a lot of times that coach has to be the one to step in and be the face, as you call it, of the team. And if you have a passive voice, and in fact, if you think about it, the Celtics were in the same position, right? Because Brad Stevens is, I call him White Steven Silas. Great X and O guys. You know, he can draw up the best plays and he knows everything about the offensive scheme and defensive scheme. But there's an approach. He was kind of a soft spoken type, kind of anti confrontational type, and he couldn't really push the right buttons on the Celtics team, and to the point where they crashed out. With that Kyrie situation, nonetheless. But nonetheless, they crashed out. As talented as they weren't reaching the ceilings that they needed to be. So you insert a presence into that locker room because if you think about it, the Celtics are a young team. Aside from Al Horford, everybody on there is babies. You know what I mean? You're talking about Jason Tatum, what, 24? Jalen Brown is 26. You got Williams, the both Williams. I think they both like under 22, 23 years old. Marcus Smart is probably the elder statesman. He's what, 28? So these are young guys that were very talented, but needed guidance. They needed a voice. They needed a standard. And if anything, I don't even think we are at the point where X's and O's matter that much right now. If anything, our guys need a standard. They need something, a measure of consistency, something to look at and say that that is the law of the land. And if I deviate from the law of the land, there will be consequences. So, as a young man learning the ways of being an adult, learning how to be a responsible employee of the National Basketball Association, it'll be best for me to follow the standard of the law so that I may be successful. That is the opposite of what we had in Houston, right? All the stuff we saw. We saw guys talking back to coaches, arguing with coaches on the sidelines, guys not getting back on defense, rolling their eyes, hands on the hips, giving up mid play, guys arguing when they get told to come out the game. All of that stops today. That is stops today. If y'all have watched the Celtics game, one thing you love about Ime Udoka, he will cuss a player smooth out. And if he can cuss Jason Tatum out, oh, ain't nobody on our team that's above it. I don't give a damn who you are. There's not one player on the Rockets right now that is above getting disciplined, that is above being held accountable, that is above playing for the team. Because if he can coach an MVP candidate, a defensive player of the year, and they're going to listen to him, oh, what are we doing over here? This is nut check time for every single player on that team, boy. I hope Jalen enjoying his pina colada right now. I hope he catching a breeze because you know what I mean. They about to enter the real life. If y'all remember, I don't know if it was Austin Rivers or was it Austin Rivers or John Wall who said that basically what they're doing is not acceptable on real NBA teams, right? So if they've been living this fantasy basketball world where it's like, yeah, we just do what we want. And yeah, it's basically the kids' show. What do you think the culture shock is going to be when they actually get a real coach? Like these dudes do not know what it's like being under like a real training camp, real practices with a real coach that'll grab you by your shirt, that'll push you around, that'll get in your face and challenge your manhood. Oh, I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait I cannot wait. Yeah, they've been asking. It's one thing to ask for it. It's one thing to ask for a structure and standard. It's another thing to be able to function in it. And I think that this is where it's going to separate what the Bible say, the wheat from the shaft. Yeah, this is it. I mean, think about all this. Think about all this. Who is going to crack first? People talk about KPJ. What about Jalen? Has Jalen ever been coached super hard? What about LP? All that hand flapping, all that. It's a different beast he dealing with now. You're talking about guys like Tari, tunnel vision Tari. You think he gonna be doing them wild layups? Come on, man. Bari, all that blaming your teammate stuff. You can't be doing that now. See, remember what I said. When there's no leader, everybody tries to take the role of a leader with the team, and that's really what has gotten them in trouble over this past season, over the past 2 years. So now you insert somebody that is going to fill that void. We don't need a player to do it at worst. And I'm hoping they still bring in vets. You're going to still need vets. You're going to need a lot of supplementing to get these guys because we're coming from ground level. One of the things that really pisses me off the most about the Silas era is the fact that we've wasted, honestly, 2.5, 3 years not building anything sustainable. And I think people conflate tanking and all that comes with losing basketball games with actually building. Because when you're building, when you're ready to go for quote unquote phase two, you ain't got to start from the ground level, man. You could just build on what you can. You know who's building right now? OKC's building. That's building, right? Because they looked bad the year before, but you could see the glimmers when they actually played. Like, damn, these boys, they play pretty hard. They're kind of bad, but they're gonna lose the game. They're gonna lose as many games as us, but man, they play pretty hard. Man, the Orlando, they really they out there executing what their coaches say. That's building. So when you actually get to the point where you bring in some names, then these boys ready to go. For us, it's going to be there's going to be a culture shock, right? It's going to be a transitionary period. I think probably in the first few months, and it's going to take some time. I think I forgot what the name of the theory of change is, where it goes from storming to norming. Yeah, there's going to be a storming phase, and I definitely think that it's coming, and it's very much needed. As it relates to our GM interrupting practices, yeah, how is he going to do that against a guy that's a world champion, right? What are we talking about here? You're talking about a coach that coached. Y'all don't understand how big this hire is. You're talking about a coach. Did y'all see that clip I played? You're talking about a guy that coached in the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. What the hell is Rafael Stone going to tell him? Right? What is Stone going to tell him? Just the big picture. That's all he can do. Is saying, hey, Ime, here's what we want to do. Here's what the big picture is. I trust you to do that. I'm starting to think that Stone probably went into that practice because Silas was so bad. Like he was like, bro, I got to say something. So I'm not sure. And the more I've been digging on Ime, because I was super duper focused, I didn't think he was realistic for us, but here he is. Yeah, he has a lot of development background. The sample size for head coaching is short, but he does some stuff with Team USA. But I think that, like I said, mark of a good coach. Low end, can you get a bad team to outperform where they're supposed to be, like Daigneault over in OKC, like Ime's former head assistant Will Hardy over in Utah, and can you get a great team to overperform like you see with the Warriors when Steve Kerr got there, like you're seeing with Mike Brown over in Sacramento, like you saw with Nick Nurse when he won the championship. Can you push those buttons to get over the top? And I think that we've seen him on one extreme. I think at baseline, man, Silas set the bar so low for us that at baseline, just us being able to have structure is going to do wonders for the kids. It's going to do wonders for the kids. It's going to do wonders for the kids because they're going to be in a position where they actually have a real basketball team, right? And you're talking about supplementing them with vets, something they never had. And that's that pack watch is still on Stone for that. You're talking about supplementing them with vets. You're going to have a great coaching staff. That alone is going to do wonders. They're going to get a point guard. They're going to get probably some holes filled, some shooting. A defensive big man is going to be on the court. To me, that's worth all of that in aggregate. If nothing else happens, they're gonna win 15 more games. I promise you. Just by doing that, they're gonna win 15 more games because the things that we've been lacking as a team, the basic fundamental aspects of just having a functioning basketball team that the Rockets have lacked over the years. Like to watch, so somebody that looks at basketball, analyzes basketball, to watch what we put out on the court on a night to night basis. Y'all, me and Space out here doing smokes and mirrors, man. What's the term? Smokes and mirrors, trying to put together content for y'all. Man, thank God them days are over. Thank God those days are over. Let me get to the chat, man. I really want to see what y'all think. Let me go up to the chat, see what the Chop Shopper's talking about. I know there's going to be some interesting comments here from the group. Okay, I'm going to just start arbitrarily right here. Ricky Johnson says, give Stone credit for acting fast. He has taken a lot of heat lately, but this may mean he will be able to hang around. Yeah, I'm going to give Stone credit for this. I'm going to give Tillman because I know he pulls the trigger. I know Tillman is the one that's going to sign that check. And Lord, I'm sure it might be a little bit more expensive than Steven Silas's check. But give the Rockets brain trust credit. The more I'm learning, Stone does not act in autonomy as our general manager. They actually have a group of people that make these decisions, including Patrick Fertitta. So kudos to the team, to the group for getting this done quickly. I'm not sure where he ranked originally as their first or second choice, but I'm sure he was up there. And I'm sure they didn't want to risk losing him. I'm not sure why Toronto would have wanted him because I think Toronto's about to tank. They already said all their players are on the market except Scotty Barnes. So I think Toronto's tanking. So I don't see a world where you get a coach like Ime if you're going to tank. I mean, they should just go hire Steven Silas, right? We know he's going to get them at least 2 top 3 picks, if not more. My boy Assad says one man's treasure, another man's trash. Wait. I think it's the other way. The other way around, brother. One man's treasure is another trash treasure. You tripping, brother. You tripping. Go ahead and fix that statement. You tripping out. Okay, who we got next? We got my boy Space Age 713. Heard they sold him on the young core and future draft picks. We got about 3 picks, bro. I think the cap space, I think the core definitely, and I think the fact that the expectations are very, very low. The expectations are very, very low for Houston. It's a comfortable situation. You're coming in, you know what I mean? The bar is low, bro. Like if this dude, don't lie, y'all gonna go crazy if he yell at one of the players. I give him an extension for 10 years. All he got to do is bench a player, and the fan base gonna tell him to keep him for the next decade. So the bar is low. If I'm him, can you imagine the story, right? The story. Can you imagine the story of a guy, and we'll talk about a little bit about his issues coming off of that and getting here, and it's a match made in heaven. What the kids say, the script is revealed. I mean, it's in the script, man. Can you bring in the Rockets to a place of relevance that'll fix his image as the guy that cheated on Nia Long, and then maybe he'll get another go around at a contender. Maybe he'll be with us. I don't know, but I think that he is a depressed asset in the NBA. Obviously, like I said earlier, he wouldn't be in this position, right? He wouldn't be in this position for us to get him if he wasn't a depressed asset. So yeah, like I think old buddy was trying to say before his keyboard stroked, is one man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. We got my boy Swaggy D. What's good, brother? New era in Houston. I'm excited going forward. I am too, bro. It is a new era, man. Oh my God. If I have to hear one more post game conference about some just dumb, I know. Okay, we're probably. I put a thing on Twitter saying how long before we start hating our new coach. The over under for me is 1 year, but I'm gonna say over a year. I think, like I said, the Silas bar is so low that this dude, all he got to do is just call a good timeout, and they gonna want to extend him for a decade. And you think about what really made people start hating Silas in Houston, and I'll be honest with you, nobody had no problem with Silas. We was riding with him through the pandemic, through the hand thing where he did the thing when they finally won the game after 20 losses. We was all with him. You know what made people turn on Silas is how he treated Jalen Green. That was the turning point. Then it was compounded by the Christian Wood and Alp thing, compounded by the KJ and the Tate thing, compounded by the Eric Gordon thing, compounded. There was a lot of like his utilization of veteran players and ignorance towards younger players. in an effort to still lose. It wasn't like he was putting players like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play these guys, these vets to win, bro. We was still getting spanked, but we was losing with guys like Eric Gordon, Tate, and them boys playing 30 minutes a game. Double big lineup, my God. So that's what turn people on Silas. Like, bro, you here to we was with you with the tank. We knew what was up. But at least let us enjoy the little bit of daylight we got with these young guns out here. At least let us enjoy that. Then we started finding out, oh man, this dude's soft, man. He don't even he's not even out here like keeping a tight ship. So that's really what made everybody fall off. That's really what made everybody fall off. That's really what made a lot of people turn on them then. There were some people that hung on for the dear ride. Some people rode till the wheels came off, bro. It was people defending him when he got fired. Good luck to those people. Good luck to them. Good luck to Steven Silas. Christian Music Plug, what's good? Do you think Ime would make us better defensively, make our guys play better defensively? Well, duh, bro. Like, we were the worst defense. He literally, hell, made me and you, Christian, we can go out there and probably, threaten some of the players and tell them play harder. We're going to bench them, and they might play better defense. We have nowhere to go but up, man. The bar is low. The bar is in the basement. The bar is in the basement. You're talking about a Celtics team that was the number one defense last year. I was doing a little peek, and the reason I was late coming to the thing, I was trying to get my thoughts together. Y'all know I like to come with the facts and the stats. So I really didn't have time to really get it together like I want. So I'm probably have to do a video on him. It's going to take maybe some time. I got to do my research on him. I take a lot of time to research, but just peeking at the Celtics last year, I mean, they were the number one defense. Their offense was kind of average. This year, they're elite. Like all their numbers across the board are elite. Once again, like I said, it does go like they have a lot of good players. So we're gonna find out what kind of coach Ime is. But I'm just happy because I know what type of character, as far as his presence as a coach, that he has. But we'll get to see. We'll get to see. Terry Agent says, "What up, Frank? Great day for Rockets basketball in a while. Yeah, it's been a far and few in between, bro. I can't remember the last time we were happy. I guess when they fired Silas. Weirdly enough, I think that was the last kind of happiness in the fan base. But we gonna see what comes of it. I think there's gonna be a lot of ups in this offseason. It's gonna be an exciting offseason. Red Dragon 83 says the young guys will look at him with big eyes open, tired of losing. How will Ime push them to a new level? Y'all seen the video I dropped. If you haven't watched the video about Jalen Green that I dropped this morning, I think, about him and his path towards superstardom, the question I asked is, who's the coach that's going to push those buttons for Jalen? Right? Because y'all, the conclusion of that video, and go watch it if you haven't watched it, is that for Jalen to be a star, he has to be a two-way player. There's no two guards that's only a bucket. You can't be a bucket and be a star. You can be a bucket and be a six man. You can be a bucket and be a role player. You can be the spark off the bench. You can be the guy that just scores next to the real star. If Jalen Green is going to be our star, the dude either has to turn into damn near James Harden or some like playmaking dynamo, or he got to be a two-way star. And I think it's easier for him to play defense because he's shown it. So the question then is, we've wasted all this time with Steven Silas. Who can push those buttons? Who can push those buttons? And I put that on Twitter, and everybody said Ime. I think this was this morning. I asked that, who's the coach that's going to put that battery in Jalen Green's back to tell him that, dude, drop all your whatever you want to be, throw that away. Your only goal is to be an all defensive player. That's his goal. You need to make an all defensive team. That's his goal. We know he's going to score. All that's going to come. His goal should make all the players on our roster. Jabari, I want all of them to focus on getting all defensive because everybody can score in the NBA. Everybody can score in the NBA. Can they be that level of defense? Because that's what wins championships. I dare anybody to go find any turnaround story for any team in the NBA. The number one indicator of a success story for a team that went from trash to treasure, that defensive rating. It's like, man, it's damn near 100%. You find me a team that was bad that turned good. Look at their defensive rating. That's the only measure that matter. Offense is going to fluctuate. Some good teams have bad offenses. Some good teams have bad. They're not going to have a bad defense. If you got a bad defense and you're a good team, you'll probably have a medium or middle level defense, and your offense is like super elite. Otherwise, the standard is good defense. And that's where we need to go. And that's why I'm glad, because that's what he preaches. Now, question is, with him, he is not like just from like doing some surveying around, he's not like a big like offensive like savant. I really don't care about that because that's not what we need right now. Given what I just said, what I do care about is the defensive presence. But as far as offensive style, I think that does matter in somewhat of the development of our players. And maybe later on, I'll talk about what I've seen from the Celtics from last year. But a lot of the stuff, the thing that's hard to really gauge with him is that it's he had Will Hardy, right? If y'all don't know, Will Hardy's the coach for Utah. That's an offensive savant, right? That's a guy that's known for his offensive schematics and being able to really utilize movement, spacing, shooting. And the little bit that he flashed in Utah before they started tanking showed me like, okay, this dude, he's the goods. So if he is their offensive coach from last year, then it makes sense. Then we probably need to hire somebody that's going to be offensively geared for Ime, which is fine. And we saw the opposite inverse of that with Mike D'Antoni and y'all put his name in the chat. He has what's our old defensive coordinator's name? I'm forgetting his name. Y'all put his name in the chat. He had a weird name, but yeah. So I'll be okay if somebody they hire. So I'm sure they might still be hiring and possibly bring somebody else. All right, Space A 713 says, best believe the media got some type of way. Oh, we got my boy Space Ghost in the house. All right, Space Ghost, you in here? Let me fix this thing. All right, there you go, Space. Okay. I'm gonna stop. This Space's man right here. I'm gonna stop and let you go ahead. I can't hear you, bro. Let me see. Go ahead and say.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you go. All right, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours, brother. You caught. I'm a Nick Nurse guy, so I'm gonna step back. The floor is
Hey,
yours, brother.
I'm ecstatic, bro. I'm like on cloud 9, 10, 11. Like I just think this was the guy we needed, bro. Like from jump. Like once I was a Quinn Snyder guy up like in the summertime, but once he got hired by the Atlanta Hawks, I was like, man, we got to go get MA. We have to go get MA, bro. And just so happened, bro, it happened, man. I'm on cloud 9, bro. Couldn't be better. Hold on, my kid's going crazy.
Man, yeah, I'm with him. I know Space happy, and like I said, I'm not hell. We could have hired one of y'all, man. I would have been happy, but this is definitely something unexpected. Okay, so touch on the media feeling some type of way about Ime in Houston. Ask me, do I care? Okay, so obviously everybody's going to talk about the situation in Boston. Okay, so for what we know about the situation, the NBA investigated, nothing happened. The team took care of it internally, so we know it's a workplace issue, right? A lot of y'all work in companies. You can have inappropriate workplace behavior. You get disciplined. You might lose your job, like in his case. But to me, that's stuff for like that's more interpersonal stuff. Like we don't arrest people for that, right? Not in America, right? So if a guy, he's doing stuff with his boss's wife or whatever, or that's interpersonal. That's HR stuff. And I think a lot of people are virtual signaling a little too hard, right? Assuming a lot and making the assumptions that billion-dollar organizations aren't going to put their interests first as it relates to these types of matters, right? What I mean by that is I'm going to assume that the Celtics, the NBA, which quote unquote is a progressive league, has done their due diligence in knowing that somebody that is, that is going to be a danger to maybe a work environment, a danger to their logo, to the league, to the brand, is not going to be rehired within a year. So if it just comes down to inappropriate behavior within him, cheating on his wife, that ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. If y'all want to be, you want to be the Pope, you want to be, one of those guys. More power to you, brother. But we here to talk basketball, right? So whatever he does in his bedroom, none of my business. I just, let's just hope he ain't trying to get none of the workers on the Rockets. And I'm sure, it wasn't like that. Obviously, y'all know y'all are adults. So some of these situations happen. You might be having an affair. Somebody has an affair. This person, hurt feelings, blah, 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 blah. He lost his Nia Long, biggest L in the world, fat L for him. But at the end of the day, bro, that's a grown man. That's a grown man. That's a grown woman. It was consensual. The NBA investigated. It was nothing criminal there. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and sit on a high horse and say the man can't get a damn job. So if y'all, if y'all feel some type of way about that, I'm sorry, but humans are humans, bro. Like, we're not gonna not give people chances. So I'm not sure what the media is gonna say. I mean, if they had something to say about the situation, should have said it already, right? It's going on a long time. So yeah, so I think that that stuff will flow over. I think over time people will just whatever. Like, he wouldn't be the first person to have an affair on the job. You know what I mean? So it's just hell. We had a president, if y'all don't remember. But anyway, so Terry just says, "With Udoka at the helm, I see a lot of our guys taking steps forward and building winning culture. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I know. We got a lot of guys that's really don't know how to be NBA players, right? We don't know how to be don't know how to be NBA players. So I'm thinking that he's going to bring not only that because remember, Ime actually played in the league, right? He won a ring with the Spurs. So that's definitely something that I can see definitely rubbing off on the players. Can you imagine a practice where he bring that championship ring in to show the guys, like, maybe they can watch some tape on what it takes? Hell, show them some old Spurs tape, man. Like, somebody that gets it. And I don't know what the coaching staff situation is going to be, as far as like who they're going to bring in and who's going to be the assistants. Some people saying they want to keep some of the guys. Honestly, I'll be 100 with y'all. I don't want nobody from this regime left over. I don't give a damn who it is. Abdel Fattah. I don't care if it's maybe Abdel Fattah. I don't think he had a fair shot. John Lucas, he got to go, bro. I'm sorry. It's not because they're not good coaches, just because, like, bro, I don't want nobody to remind any of them about the old regime. This is a new dawn, the dawn of a new era. We got to move on, bro. The dawn of a new era. Oh, we got a super chat. Let me make sure I don't lose my spot. Hold on, I'm over here. Got a super chat from you, boy. Sleep Art 11. What's good with you, brother? Saying Udoka walks. Let me see. Udoka walks in. Stone, please save us. Udoka, throwing your wife. Stone, okay. Damn, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Not Miss Stone, bro. Nah. Y'all don't leave that. I've seen a lot of jokes on Twitter about this stuff, man. They're not going to go away. The jokes are going to be there. The jokes are going to be there. There's a lot of mothers on the team, single mothers on the team for some of these young men. The jokes are going to be there. That just comes with the territory. We just going to have to roll with it. We go, y'all get ready to defend your coach, man, because I know the NBA, y'all know how they treat us. Y'all know how these other fan bases treat us. Ime is about to become he's going to be a public enemy numero uno in the public eye. They're about to do some, watch, y'all going to see CNN at the practices doing investigative journalism on who he picking up. They done got pictures of Ime down at the turkey leg hut with some woman. It's going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. As soon as he signed that paper saying he's going to coach for Houston, public enemy number one. Public enemy number one. All right, let's go to some of these comments. Devin 95 says he finna toughen Jalen up and tame KPJ. That KPJ thing interesting, man. That KPJ is going to be interesting. That's an interesting dynamic. Now, I have a feeling that Kevin Porter might actually benefit from Ime Udoka more than anybody else. I have a feeling about that because even though during the Silas era, I think KPJ has he's grown a lot. He still does a lot of weird kind of like bratty stuff on the court and kind of a little diva mentality with how you play, which is all going to get cleaned up. But from where he was to where he is now, he's grown a lot in his basketball game, his demeanor, his intensity, his effort. So I can only imagine that picks up a lot more. And I think there's a world where his maturity curve, because he's about to be what, 23, 24. I think he's about to be 23. Remember, y'all, if y'all remember, some of the men in the chat, you was doing some dumb stuff when you was in your early 20s. I didn't start realizing that I could die until I was like 26, bro. That's when I was like, damn, I could really die. Like, dude, let me get my life in order. So as his brain starts to get up to that maturity level, it could hit a sweet spot where he's mature enough to actually accept coaching and let himself be pushed. And I think that's a dangerous player because we know brother got the skills to pay the bills. It was just always his mentality. And if he can reach that sweet spot where he gets enough to be pushed and coached by Ime and the coaching staff, and they actually craft and hone him and make him focus like they did with Marcus Smart, because Marcus Smart thought he was the guy. One of the reasons the Celtics had so much trouble, they had 3 players that thought they were alpha dogs. Jalen thought he was him. Tatum thought he was him. Marcus thought he was him. But one thing Ime did with that presence, see, Brad Stevens, White Steven Silas, was over there, not being able to regulate these guys, let that stuff run amok. Ime came and corrected that, got them a hierarchy. Tatum's the man. Jalen, you're going to be our second dog, and we're going to go to you at crucial moments. And Marcus, your job is to play hellacious defense and be the table setter for this team. Everybody bought into that role. And once that happened, finals. It was not pretty. They damn near was calling for Ime job 2 months into the gig, bro. You go listen to Celtics fan base, listen to their podcast, listen to some of the Bill Simmons stuff, the insight he gave on that. They were calling for this man's job, but that was that storming phase. When you make a change that's that's such a abrupt change to people's like characters and their roles, is there going to be a lot of kind of a abrasion in that process. And if you can make it through there, then you really come up with something special. We got another super chat from Sleep Art 11. Let me get to you, brother. Let me get to that super chat, man. Let's see what you got to say here. If I can find it. Sleep Art says, I love Udoka hire. Gotta laugh about it now. Break that ice, move on. Yeah, y'all, they gonna get them jokes in, man. They gonna get the jokes in, the thought jokes, the Riz God, hide your mama, hide your wife. But Ime, he got us, he was maybe Boston wasn't a spot for him, bro. You put a brother up in Boston, he get desperate. He in Houston now, man. He got the pick of the litter, man. He can get wherever he want to go up. If he like what he like in Boston, he can go up to the Woodlands, go over to Katy. If he want to get a little international, he can go down to the inner loop, go down to the Southwest. I mean, he could find what he want, man. So there's no reason this man should be in anybody's wives or mother's DM, bro. But we're gonna get them jokes in. But I know it's gonna be a topic for a lot of people. Space, man. So what's good, bro? Like, what we feeling, man?
Man, I feel like that Shangoon meme. I'm so happy. Bro,
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy, bro, for real. Because I thought we was gonna end up with some no name or another assistant or something. I kind of figured Stone was probably gonna make a semi splash, but I didn't think he was going to be able to pull this one off, bro. Like, he pulled one off, man. And y'all know I'm hard on Stone. I'm hard on Stone. I think he got a lot to prove this offseason. So far, so good, man. This is what we needed. We really needed a head coach, and I just think Emmy, he connects everything that we need, bro. He can bring the culture, he can bring the defensive, he can bring a statue. He got a little cachet. If you know anybody that played with him or under him, like KD and James Harden and even Kyrie, they love this guy. It was a reason they was trying to get him in Brooklyn, right after he got let go from the Celtics. They love this guy. He's a culture builder, and he can connect with any type of player, bro. And bro, I'm just so happy, bro, for real. Like, I'm legit happy, bro, because I thought I'm not gonna front. I would have liked Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse was cool with me. But I think Ime embodies everything that we need. I was kind of getting shaky after we was in them spaces, and I was hearing the Toronto fans, going off on Nick Nurse. Maybe it was
Nick
something
Nurse.
we wasn't seeing, but Ime, he's just that guy. He's the big fish that you go out and try to catch, bro. And we actually caught one. Now, with that's step one of my manifest destination. My step
What's step
two.
2?
Jaylen Brown. Now,
Oh man.
hey, I think
you already know I'm on that,
bro. I think that just put us that much closer to getting Jaylen Brown, bro, for real. Because if you seen the comments right after Ime went through that whole thing and everything came to the light, Jaylen Brown was like stood by his side,
defending him.
like,
Yeah.
bro, that's my coach. I love the dude, like, bro, like everything about Ime, like he brought it out in that little interview, bro, and you can see why guys love to play with him. And I'm happy, bro. Like, if we don't land Wemby, I know we're gonna get us a top pick regardless. So I just needed the coach, bro. Because if a coach come in, he can make almost anything work, bro. Like, and he learned from one of the best, if not the greatest of all time.
Facts.
Popovich. So,
Pop
bro,
tree, right?
prop
The
tree,
the
dog.
pop the
Like,
pop Popovich coaching tree is damn near undefeated in the NBA, man. That's like if you want to do a lineage tree of players, I mean of coaches, the Popovich coaching tree is pretty deep, and they're unlike the Belichick tree. They actually look good when they leave the nest. They don't go out there and just be Bill O'Brien's. You know what I mean? So yeah, big facts, bro. Big facts. I think the Jaylen Brown thing is interesting, bro. Like man, I hope like it is something to it. Damn, I ain't never prayed on a player not to get an All NBA team, but damn it, I wouldn't be mad if he didn't, bro. Because I know that's the only way the Celtics have a full advantage over the rest of the field is if he get that All NBA mark, then he's available for them to offer him a 5-year supermax. Now I don't know if they want to do it. I'm sure they're probably praying like, damn, I don't know if we want to get that dude a 5-year supermax. But if he doesn't get it, then his contract is going to be the 4-year max, which is the most he can get. And, every team can pretty much offer him the same thing across the board there. I think they can probably do a little bit more since they're the team that drafted him. But yeah, I think that's a path. I also think a sign and trade could be a path for him to come because if they know that he wants to leave regardless, dude could just say like, hey man, get what you can. You know what I mean? Like get what you can. I'm out. And they'll probably sign him, work with the second team and try to work something out then. I think that, I would love Jaylen. I would love Jaylen, the Jaylen connection, especially given how I just talked about that video with that two-way versatility for Jalen Green. Put him next to JB. Oh man, we talking about something
I'm
now,
gonna
man.
go out on a limb and say that they're not gonna want to give him that super max. I'm gonna just go out on a limb
Right.
and say they not, because anytime a hot commodity player came up, he was in the trade discussions. They really have been trying to
Yep.
trade this man, and if I was him, I feel a little slighted anyway. And then he have an opportunity to come with his favorite coach that he's played for, and they can give him the money, and it would be his team. Like hands down, this would be Jaylen Brown's team. Who will we get besides Wemby? Even Wemby, it'll take 2 or 3 years before it become his team. Like Jaylen Brown, this would be Jaylen Brown's team, and he'll be able to show exactly what he's made of, bro. Because I think when you got too much of a good thing like Boston have, you kind of start undervaluing who you have on your team. And I think Jaylen Brown have been undervalued with what he brings to the table, because Jason Tatum is the star there. And I think
Yep.
he sees the opportunity where, man, these guys, I can go over there. He can be a leader. He can be the main shot getter. He can be, it's going to all ride on him, at least the first 2 to 3 years before our guys come up. And he can actually show I am that type of guy. Then he can we wouldn't even be having this discussion about being a all NBA type player. If he was doing what he doing on the Rockets, where he don't have to really share the limelight with Jason Tatum, the dude would be almost a shoe-in for a first team all NBA type player, bro. And especially he comes from a tanking team and lead them just straight out into the playoffs with Ime Udoka. Bro, it's all positives over here for that man. It's all positive. I don't see too many negatives, man.
That's facts. And if you look at it from a legacy standpoint, I don't know if he wants to be under Tatum's shadow for another 5-6 years. You know what I mean? Because no matter what he does, the Celtics are always going to put Jason Tatum above him as that guy. And as an athlete, at some point, maybe the money is like I can make that money back on the front end when I actually go out and show these people that I can be the number one option. Then they got to back up the Brinks truck for me and give me whatever I want. That big deal, and maybe that's what he's looking at. I don't know, but I hope his mind is there because I think people sleep. I don't know what in the hell's wrong with some of these people. They watch basketball and they get all these weird takes about fits and stuff like that. Man, if you can get a Jaylen Brown at 26 years old, y'all, Michael Jordan didn't win his first ring till he was 28. Like y'all, like the whole youth movement in basketball is really screwing people's minds up. It's messing with people's minds. And at the end of the day, you always notice the teams that end up winning the championships are older teams. It's good to be a competitive young team and be getting those experiences, but these guys got to grow, man. So people are judging players in their mid 20s, like they're 50 years old, bro. I've heard people say, "Nah, I don't want him. He's too old." Dude's 26. He got another damn near 10. He could play for another 15 years in the NBA. Another, 10, 12 years in the NBA. That's almost 3 contracts. We just need him for a window. And so, I'm gonna get off the high horse on that. Let me get to some of these comments. If anybody want to come up, I put the link in the chat box. Jamon says it's going to be interesting to see if Udoka gets blowback if he clashes with Şengün. What the hell are you gonna clash with Şengün for? Y'all think Şengün is Shaq? Man, let me set the fan base straight. This is a new era, man. All that,
Get him.
yeah, all that stuff that's
Get him,
gone,
Frank.
bro. All that like KPJ, this Jalen, bro. These are rookies. They're about to be set right exactly where they belong. We're gonna get some vets in the house that are gonna be able to supplement some of the things we lack. I'm telling y'all, on a real team, Jabari would not have played all them damn games. He would not have started. That man would have been playing 15 to 20 minutes a game as he learned to be an NBA player. So all that weird stuff of like, oh damn, guys are just given minutes because they're high picks, gone. You can't win. You can't say you want to be a winner and then try to do that. It doesn't match up. So, bro, we don't care about what Jabari got to say. We don't care about what Şengün got to say. Hell, I don't care about what Jalen Green got to say. I don't care what Coach Udoka got to say. We have a grown up in the house. We'll let him. I remember somebody asking this. I'll give Stone credit for this. They asked him if they asked if they're consulting Jalen and them about the coaching hire. He was like, no. Why the hell would they consult? Y'all already trying to breed that bad habit stuff that's going to biting us when they making us trade 4 first-round picks for some washed-up player that's on the downhill of his stardom. So, nah, man, we ain't
We
ain't
haven't
worried about
learned. We
Şengün.
haven't learned from James Harden. Like
We're
like we
not worried
haven't
about
learned from
Şengün.
James Harden yet, bro. And Curtis Ho, you tripping, bro. You like Jalen
What Curtis
Brown.
said?
KPJ might not never reach Jalen Brown type level,
Oh
dog.
yeah, he's
Like
sleep. KPJ has
Curtis
10
Ho,
more
you
years in
tripping,
him
bro.
compared to Jalen. Nah, you tripping, Curtis. So
Sigga
no, that's
Miggs, what's
irrational.
good?
What's good, Sigga Miggs?
Yo,
You
what's up?
there? We'll go down, bro.
Man, this feels like a brand new era for this rebuilding Rockets team.
Man, everything seems better, right? Even my audio's come in, space didn't mess up. The backer, look at the back. I mean, everything looks clean, bro. It's a new era of basketball. Even the
new era of
YouTube
Top
acting
Shot.
right. We got a pep. What's good? What do you think about the Ime Brown hiring, man? What is your feels on that?
Yo, I was like really happy with it. Like Nick Nurse was the guy I was rooting for initially because of that Houston connection. He has more years experience as a head coach, and he actually has a championship. But Ime was like my number 2. So this was like a huge swing for Stone to be able to land a guy like this to help accelerate the rebuild. And I'm really hoping that this will be the move that takes this team to knocking on the door of the play-in, or like, right?
To get into that plan, yeah, I think that's going to be the goal for them probably this year is to see how competitive can they be. Because I mean, you don't bring a guy like this to be able to do that. I do wonder if, like I said, I don't know if Ime is used to this what he's about to come into. I always assumed whatever coach came into our whatever this is going to have to is like when you work behind somebody. I don't know if y'all ever worked in like retail or like a restaurant where you got a shift, you got to come in behind somebody and they supposed to have stuff done so your shift could go smoother and you get there and they ain't done nothing. Like, I feel like this is one of them situations where whoever this coach is, they gonna come like, damn, this dude ain't fold the napkins, like type stuff where you got to like do everything and get it ready. And it's going to be extra work for them because there's a lot that the Rockets are lacking, bro. Like, it's really
Frank, I
nasty.
think that's why he gonna pick his own coaches. I think that's why he
I hope
gonna
so.
get his own coaches, bro. Because we see he spotted Hardy, which ended up being the Utah Jazz coach in the finals for a coach of the year. Like, I think he knows coaches and he's been around the league enough to where I think he knows who to get as assistants. Borrego maybe, but I think he was in for a head coaching hire himself. Hey, he may gonna be he gonna figure it out, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has a lot to clean up, like a lot to clean up in terms of this coaching staff. Like, it was such a mess. There was like no guidance, I felt like not a lot of people were helping out develop these young guys. So he has his work cut out for him. And I do think he's gonna do it, but maybe his like I'm afraid he might be in over his head Hopefully, I'm hoping he's enough of a hard ass to at least like whip these guys into shape.
Yeah, I definitely. I think he's cut out for that. EF Hutton, what's good with you, bro? You there?
It's your boy. We back, baby. H-Town is
Yo,
going down, man.
Yeah,
yo.
yeah. You know I'm gonna mess with you, bro. Your boy Silas is gone. You ain't gonna get that extra money
Oh
for
yeah, I forgot.
sticking up for him. You know,
Yeah,
maybe you can hit up your boy Ime.
I lost my per diem, you know what I mean? But I'm backsliding, you know. We gonna swap teams. Look,
Damn, cold world, ain't it?
it's a cold world. But in all honesty, like I say, you know, I was pie in the sky, man. I'm like that. I'm like I said, I wanted to see Silas get the chance after, you know, we was able to put all the pieces together. He didn't get it. Like, you know, just like y'all said, you know, they gave him a chance to prove what he could do. They couldn't see what he could do. So they had to let him go. They didn't see the potential there. But I think also it was a stepping stone thing. It was like, we're going to let him, you know, do this, and then we'll go to the next level. But also, they could have made the mistake of saying we're going from level 1 to level 2 and got a Kenny Atkinson or, you know, one of those, you know, stepping stone type coaches, but they went straight to the top, which was, for me, like I said, pie in the sky, Mark Jackson was my guy because I felt like, you know, he could be the face of the franchise. He's going to draw all kind of attention, and he would be like an icon in and of itself. Like if you look at most popular possibilities for a coach, Mark Jackson would be that guy. So he was, you know, he was like my pie in the sky idea. But Ime Udoka was always like, this is our most likely possibility to make a turnaround. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We got our guy. I was like miles ahead of Nick Nurse, miles ahead of Kenny Atkinson, anybody else that was on the table, maybe with the exception of Sam Cassell, because you know Sam is H-Town, you know what I'm saying, drafted. So I'm excited that we got Ime. I do have some slight reservations, you know, and I don't want to really speak it into existence, but you know, the thing about Ime is like they say, the accountability and pushing guys to do things and how complicated he wants things to be, you know. And I just hope like you're not going into the situation saying we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this, because that's a lot of the problems that Stone might have had. He might have been in the same situation where he was like, I can get these guys to do something that they're not qualified to do. So I hope that's my only reservation, is that I hope you don't get here and be like, oh, I'm able to coach these guys to do this, and they're still not able to do it. Like you were saying, you know, you go into work and you're like, damn, the last guy didn't, you know, fold the napkins. So I'm going to teach this dishwasher to fold the napkins, and they don't know how to fold the napkins. You need to get one of the waitresses or something who know how to do that shit to do that shit. The dishwasher don't know how to fold napkins. So I hope it ain't one of those type things. But other than that, man, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. You know, defense is my thing, and I know he's gonna bring that defensive intensity. I was reading the quote right when I seen that we got the hire, that in the playoff last year he was saying that if we play our offense the way we're supposed to, we'll be playing 3-on-1. 3-on-1. That was his quote. You know, so you can't beat that. You can't be the person who's saying our offense is set up to be playing 3-on-1. That's hella transition. That's exactly what this team needs.
Yeah, big. I mean, good points. Love how you took that analogy about the dishwasher to like 6 steps down the road. The boy didn't invoke the dishwasher, but all of that is facts. And I think one thing, like once again, I do have some reservations. Like to me, the sample size is one. Like the dude, I mean, 1 year is a real. That's why one of the reasons my arguments for Nick Nurse was that he had an Ime year. That year they won the finals. Then he backdoored it with a year after that, winning 56 games, I think, something like that, with a team without Kawhi Leonard. And when I think they went to the second round of the playoffs. So I'd love to have seen what Ime could have done more. Maybe he takes his team back to the finals. But like I'm looking at some of just the baseline stuff. Once again, if I know he could do it in those high moments, in the finals where he's making adjustments and battling over, and he went through some pretty good coaches to get to that finals. You know, that Heat series was pretty hard. You know, that was a pretty hard fought series that you know they were going toe to toe for. with that. I think they played Atlanta as well. That may not have been nothing crazy, but when Tatum got hurt, Jaylen Brown had to fill in. Some of the adjustments he made when Marcus Smart went down, and they had to bring some guys off the bench. Everybody on that team was ready. And one thing I really liked about what he did, he never gave up on players. If y'all don't remember, White was having a terrible playoffs. The dude couldn't shoot for his life. But they kept on encouraging. I remember the post game conferences, they wanted him to keep shooting. And eventually he had some big games in that Miami series. Then he forgot to play basketball against Golden State, but they all kind of did. But I'm saying to be at that level of coaching and even though they lost, still the experience there. He's seen a level. You can make an argument that there's a world where he's that far up. Can he get down to the dirt? Can he get low? Like it's almost like when you teach, if you used to teaching adults and you got to go teach kids, it's a different type of teaching. Like you got to be patient. You got to be able to talk their talk, speak their language, simplify everything. We know he can do it at that high level with all these All NBA, Defensive Player of the Year type players. Can you teach these kids how to just play basketball? And I think that's going to be really, and it's not easy, man. Some great coaches can't get to that level, and vice versa. So I think that's going to be a challenge going forward, bro. But he gonna have to just do what he got to do.
Yeah, I think we can't overthink that too much because, like you said earlier, he from the pop tree. Like he didn't seen it all. I'm pretty sure he didn't been through it all, going through it. You remember that one year before he even left, like Kawhi was hurt. He demanded a trade. He was out of there, and they wasn't even expected to make the playoffs, and they still made the playoffs. Like with some pretty much nobodies at the time. I think just DeJounte Murray, was coming along, but that was still a fairly young Spurs team that made. Yeah, I think they lost in the first round, but he was there to see exactly, how to deal with young guys. And I just think I don't got no reservations. He gonna have to show me he can't do it before I just say, oh, he can't do it, because everybody else come from that tree is a damn good coach, bro. Is a damn good coach, and I don't expect no different from Ime.
I wanted to ask you guys. the, I did watch. I watched a lot of the playoff last year and the offense, and they had a lot of. They gave Al Horford a lot of opportunity to hit threes and kind of pull the defense out. Stretch the defense. They also allowed Marcus Smart to get to the paint a lot. And kind of play a little bully ball. But I didn't really pay attention to what kind of actions they was running. Were you able to kind of pick up on what kind of actions they run, or how their offense is set up?
Yeah, I was look. That was one of the reasons I was late. I mean, I've seen their offense before, but I was trying to look at some of the play types they like to run a lot, and they are not like us, right? We all, like a lot of the NBA teams, run some form of a 5-out offense. I think that's like the newest thing. You want to go 5-out, even if you have a non-shooter on the floor, you can still go 5-out, like we did with Şengün, which is you're going to have that five be there to do dribble handoffs with. They could be used as a screener. You can get into the roll action with that five, get into pick and roll, get into stagger screens. You could do so much in a 5-out set. Now the Celtics, they didn't run a lot of pick and rolls. They're like the opposite of us. We ran a lot of pick and rolls. They don't, but they do run a lot of dribble penetration. That's their game is drive and kick, right? That was their game. With the key difference being that while they're driving and kicking on the back end, they're also running off ball screens. So they're up there with like the Warriors in Sacramento and setting screens as far as their offensive profile. So, but that's a lot of Will Hardy, bro. That's a lot of uh, the Utah Jazz coach, and that's really it's hard to really differentiate where Ime is influencing that and whether it's the his assistant, because that's what Will Hardy was known for, was offense. So their offense is it's a nice brand of offense. I think it actually fits ours very well, because you don't need a lob threat because they don't run a lot of lobs. I mean, how many times have y'all seen Time Lord dunk? Right, he'll set screens. Usually, the screening he does is just to get isolation on for one of his wings to get on a player that they can attack the mismatch, get into the paint, kick out. And while they're kicking out, You're going to have the guys that are on the corner setting down screens for players that are going to rise up to fill where they were, and they get a lot of good threes like that. So it's a really efficient form of offense. Do we have the personnel to run it? If if we try to slot people into spots, how the Celtics run, they have so many different lineups. I think we have some of their lineups. I think you could see a lineup where Jabari could be Al Horford in that situation, but instead of him playing the drop like Al does, he would play more switch. Şengün could play some of that Horford thing with Jabari flanking him, or you'd rather somebody is a more traditional rim protector there. This is why I think Alp needs to get a shot. He needs to get a shot, and I think Jabari needs to get a damn shot, right? So if Jabari is going to be, if Alp is going to be on the court, Jabari needs to get better as a defender, as a weak side rim protector, and a guy that's going to be like his shot has to be automatic on the kickouts because it's going to be there, like it's going to be there. But it's interesting because they do a lot of stuff with Al Horford that we kind of do with Şengün. They do get him touches in the post to punish mismatches. I know y'all see that sometimes in the playoffs where they'll dump it off to Big Al, and sometimes he can force the double team and kick it out. So it's a lot of overlap, but we just ran a different types of plays than they did. But I'm interested to see who they're going to hire for that role. You know what I mean?
One thing I would say, Frank, like I was telling you earlier in the chat, they didn't have a point guard. Like Marcus Smart is not a point guard. I would like to see what they would have looked like with Malcolm Brogdon on the team, just won the Sixth Man of the Year. I would like to see what that team would look like with an actual point guard, because we seen in the finals Jaylen Brown and really Tatum is really almost like a clone of each other. They only can go right.
Yeah.
They only can go right. Every time they get the ball, is right. Pick scaring going right. Going right. I got tired of seeing them go right. Like, could nobody go left? And it was just because they didn't have a real true point guard that can set up all the actions at once. I would like to see them actually with a true point guard, and they looking a little bit better offensively this year because of Malcolm
A
Brogdon,
lot
even though
better.
he's coming off the bench.
A lot better. Space. They got let me see, what did they rated? I think they got the number 2 offensive rating in the NBA. They are one of the top teams in number 5 in assists. They're number 4 in assist to turnover ratio. They're number 5 in assist ratio. In EFG, they are top. What is it? Number 4 in EFG. In true shooting, they are number 5. All of this is way up from last year, and I think them adding Brogdon, because you got to remember last year, the minutes, like you said, when Marcus wasn't on the floor, they would let like Jason and Jalen handle a lot. And that really got exposed in the playoffs. Now they try to do it with smoke and mirrors and try to run plays through using their system. But yeah, they definitely did not have a point guard, something that we both had in common with them this past year.
Right. They had little, oh man, I don't want to. They had the little white boy coming in. What was his name?
Pritchard.
Pritchard. As a I was like, he really just a 3-point shooter. He
Yeah,
really can't do nothing but shoot
spacer.
threes. So that was their Achilles heel against Golden State. Like they just couldn't set a true offense to get easy shots. So, and KPJ, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be the point guard, but at least he won't have no trouble going left. He's left-handed. You know what I'm saying?
That is big. We got a super chat from Joe Blue. Joe Blue says Udoka got the Celtics over the hump. Team ball, yes sir. They do. I mean, Celtics pass the ball a lot. Like I said, I think one of the things, I don't know what video was I saw on him, is he emphasized making the extra pass. That was his big thing. Is that when they would drive and kick, it's like they would get your defense scrambling. Honestly, I think we kind of have the athletes to do that. Get into the paint, kick out. I don't think they know how to pass though. Our guys kick out. Then it's not just taking the good shot. Get your teammate a better shot, and not just standing there waiting for the shot to come, but it's also being able to set screens and help them get a better shot. And I'm going to look through some of it, because I remember just from them when they played us, a lot of their 3-pointers came when Tatum or one of them would get to the basket and kick it out, and they'll kick it out to the person they're kicking it out to. You can't just contest them because there's somebody there screening you, kind of like how the Warriors do. It's almost a mixture of both worlds of isolation and ball movement. Like they kind of married it together. It's a really, really nice offense. I got to go back to a comment I saw from I think it was let me see. Yeah, you can go ahead, Space. Let me find this comment asking. I think it was Curtis Ho saying he want to be introduced to EF Hutton. Let me find that.
Sigga Biggs, what you got? You got anything else, Sigga?
Yeah, I was wondering, is that probably gonna be Frank's next video about how Ime system can kind of
Man, I
maximize?
don't know what that man said. Like, because it's hard to say what his system is because he only coached for a few months. And the thing is that, once again, the Will Hardy aspect of it, because we know that some of these coaches, especially the head coaches, they have coordinators that really handle whole sides of the ball, kind of like in football, where the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, like they have coaches that are assigned to one other side. Maybe they're the defensive leaning coach. I think Will Hardy was their offensive guy, and not saying that there's nothing to draw from me, but yeah, I'm definitely going to look through. I kind of just want to look at his history. I think that'll be first. Like, who is he? What is his experience? What has he done? What type of character does? Obviously, we know. Yeah, he's a guy that cheat on his lady. But aside from that, character, what basketball character does he have? And all those other things, and we can see what we can draw from that.
Let my
But
boy make it, Frank. Let him make it,
yeah,
man.
we gonna let's get it out. We gonna get it out now.
Let my boy make
You
it,
cheat on
man.
too long, bro. You come biggest fumble of the century. But yeah, we gonna try to give him a rebirth here in Houston, man. Yeah, we're gonna try to give him a rebirth here in Houston.
Hey, I I was just looking over the free agency list, and I was thinking that one of the probably one of the best pickups we can try to pick up is Josh Hart. What y'all think about that?
I actually like Josh
Josh
Hart.
Hart. Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually like him. He's one of the best rebounding. I don't know because he's like a mix between a guard and a wing. Like he can almost be both of them. But the dude, even when he's not being able to hit shots, he can play defense and he can rebound his ass off, bro. Like
Yeah,
you remember when
he's
he
a
was
tenacious defender.
in New
Tari
Orleans,
bro.
I think he got like 17 rebounds against us one game. I was like, this dude, he can rebound. He's like a connected player.
He a Tari Eason. That's Tari
Yeah,
Eason, bro.
yeah,
That's
really.
Tari gonna be a better player than Josh in about 2 years, bro. I do like Josh Hart. I think we got a big Josh Hart down in Houston. Honestly, they are so much alike, and I really realized that watching New York playing the playoffs, like all those tip rebounds, getting multiple efforts at offensive rebounds, transition. Just the difference is Josh Hart is actually like he can make layups and makes a
He
lot of
played the
stuff.
PG when he was in when he was in LA for a little while too.
Yep, yep. He's a good player. Definitely one of my favorite players in the league. Yep. Man, I can't find that comment, bro. I think what's his name wanted to meet with you, bro. Let me see
Oh,
who
okay.
I gotta find it.
I think it was Curtis.
It was Curtis Ho. Yeah, he
Oh,
said
Curtis left. He dipped out. He dipped out. One
yeah, he
thing I
said
would have to
introduce.
say on my last stream, man, I can't remember who it was. They had New York in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I kind of was like skeptical of that. But the way they've been playing against Cleveland with one of the better defenses in the league, I apologize, bro. You might be on to something. I can't remember who it was, bro. If you in the chat right
Bro,
now,
come
let
on,
me
man.
know, bro.
They
But
playing the Cavs, bro. Like, what are
hey, the
we?
Cavs a nice team though. They a little bit defensive heavy. They offense can come and go, but New York been tearing them up, bro. Like
Yeah,
they've been
yeah.
like tearing them up, and
Man, those Knicks
maybe
fans.
Oh, okay, I found a comment real quick. This for you, EF. He says, I'm an OG and I don't know EF Hutton, brother. then,
Oh man,
then
I've
Uncle
been
Trill
around for a
said,
minute.
Uncle Trill said, all right, sorry about that, guys. We
Uncle
being
Trill
childish.
crazy. Uncle
Hey,
Trill
man, you
crazy.
can't. We gonna be. I'm gonna tell y'all if y'all don't know, man. Men act like kids today. Damn near die, bro. We gonna be 50 laughing about pause, but yeah, man. I think that's we're gonna be with your grandkids telling your son pause, bro. Like, what you talking about?
Hey,
But
Right, right.
Gary Kelly say, when can we start laughing at Mobley? Don't laugh at Mobley, bro.
come on, y'all
He's
leave them
still a
dumb
baby,
kids
bro. He's
alone,
still
bro.
a baby, man.
Yeah, let's let them make it. Hey, y'all can't laugh at Mobley till Jalen in the playoffs. Let's do that, goddamn. If y'all want to laugh at Mobley, at least let one of our players be in the playoffs so we can get an even split of them laughing at us. Because Is I can't be the fan base is laughing at other people in the playoffs. You feel me? Like what we laughing at? Our guy talking about the playoffs from a tiki, from a damn what's it called? One of them little a
Yeah,
straw
From
little
Cancun.
thing off a beach. Like what we talking about, bro?
he got a mai
Chilling
tai in
on
his
a
hand right
got
now.
a mindset on the beachfront talking about he gonna make the playoffs, and we laughing at Mobley, who in there getting great experience is probably gonna lead him to be a better player. Now, come on, man, we gotta do better, man.
Who do you think is going to make the playoffs first, Jalen or Cade?
Jalen.
Jalen,
I think
I would say
Jalen.
Jalen. I don't know
Whoever get
what.
Because
women.
have y'all seen the coaching hiring that
Yeah, I don't know what
Detroit
they
looking
cooking
at?
over there,
It looked
bro.
like they trying to tank again.
What are they cooking? What are they cooking? They hiring every unknown coach in the world, bro.
They
They
cooking
just
tofu.
interview or something.
They-
And I don't know what they're cooking in Detroit. You think their coach Casey is just trying to have like a shadow puppet type thing where because he got moved up to the front office, and they trying to put some random person in this place. I don't know. Maybe it's like a Stone thing where he's trying to be the man behind the puppet type thing. But I don't know.
Maybe they're just watching the league and saying,
It ain't
we
time.
just keep, we just keep not spending a lot for a coach until we actually got a chance to do something. Because like the East is really deep right now. You got 6 teams that's legit. Like either one of those 6 teams that's over there, really minus Atlanta, but any one of those other 5 teams can be in the finals.
Yeah.
So then outside of that, you look at it, you say, well, Atlanta's still good. Who else? So Indiana, could they got great players. They got a lot of good players, and Toronto could have easily made it to the playoffs. So like, if I'm Detroit, I'm still saying like, let me get 1 or 2 good, 1 or 2 more good draft picks, and then spend a little money in the cap, kind of like what we did. But they got a little bit wider window than what we had because. We were so elite that it shouldn't have took us a long time to get back. But I think Detroit got a little time to play with. They got Cade, they got Ivy. They'll get a good draft pick this year. They'll have a lot of cap room. And then maybe
they've
2
been bad.
years from now, they hire a good coach.
They've been bad for a minute though. Like even before, like they were bad while we was good. So I'm
That's
not
true.
sure.
That's true.
Yeah, they've been bad. Detroit, Orlando, Charlotte. A lot of these teams been bad going on damn near a decade, man. And it's really that's the ugly side to tanking. That's why you don't want to stay in that gutter too long because it does wear on you. And there's a point of no return where you get into a cycle of being so bad that it's hard to come out of it. So I'm glad that the Rockets are choosing. Okay, we set a 3-year gap and we gonna pivot out of it quickly because it could be one day hey, we ready, we gonna do this and this. The next thing you know, you the Sacramento Kings, bro. You praying you got one of your players saying he ain't gonna shave till y'all make the playoff. Damn, they had
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes looking like Santa Claus out there, bro. Damn, yeah, I was about to go cut his damn hair for him. Y'all seen how bad bro got?
Yeah.
There was a point like 2 years ago, his beard was out of line, bro. I was like, damn, bro, just cut it off. Y'all ain't gonna make the play. Just go ahead and cut it off, bro.
Hey Frank, can I give I want to give some credit to don't laugh at me. I'm gonna give some credit to Tillman, bro. I'm gonna give Udoka ain't cheap. He had to come out of his pockets and pay this man. I'm interested to see how many years he gave him and what rate. If it's like a 5-6 year deal, he might get about $60 million or something like that. And that ain't no peanuts for a coach, bro. So I'm gonna give Tillman some props on this one. I told you if Tillman see that we gonna try to be good eventually, I think he'll come off the money because that's what businessmen do. He know he got to spend money to make money, And
let me follow you, man. Since we big up in the Houston Rockets, man, I follow on the sword, man. Damn, Stone, I gotta give you credit, dog. Gotta give Stone credit. He did something right.
Stone. Yeah, I thought you liked
Hell no. Nah.
Oh,
Hell no, I don't like Stone. I mean, you know what? I like Morey, and I kind of feel like, Stone had this. I'm his understudy, but I've been the one in the background that's making a lot of decisions with him. At first, I was like, okay, he might be a young up and coming version of Morey. He not. And so I really been out on Stone for a long time. Even with the drafts, I like, those draft picks was obvious picks. You almost had to pick them. You know, one or two spots removed, you would have had to make that pick. But nah, I was more like Firestone and Keith Silas than I was like Fire Silas and Keith Stone. So the fact that he went out and made that split, like I said, I think I said this on the last time that we talked. Like, I'm gonna know how I feel about Stone depending on what he do. With the coach. You make a splash with the coach, I might have to retract some of my feelings about him. But he upstaged me, and I hate to even do it, man. But I can't really hold him for this one. I can't hold him.
Yeah,
bro.
that's
I just made a whole video saying how he feels. So imagine how I feel. Now he got the coach I wanted, Stone. I still think he ain't out the water,
no.
bro. You know what I'm saying? But
it ain't over with him till it actually turns around, because he's put himself in a position where everything he does has to be a hit. And to me, they didn't have to be in this position. They could have made a lot of decisions, starting from hiring Steven Silas or not firing him. Some of the trade. I mean, we went over it before. His grievances are well noted, so it's not like this erases it. We're still where we are. We got to see. And Space, I just looked up the Ime was only making $3 million on Boston, bro. So him and Silas was getting paid the same. So I ain't gonna cap, bro. I'm starting to think that they just signed him because he's the cheapest coach out of the group, bro.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, he was making
damn.
I'm a little different because go ahead.
He's a first time head coach, so that looks like that $3 million range is kind of like the base salary for like a new coach. So I'm thinking you combine that with his grievances with the NBA, it's probably around that range. I'm probably 3 to 4 million. So I don't think it's like anything nuts. I just think it's a situation that works out where you get the best of both worlds. And I ain't mad at, if you can get a good coach, we think he's a good coach. You know what I mean? And you can sign him and he's cheaper than a guy that's going to, like Nick Nurse was making 8. So that's probably out of Tillman's pay range. So yeah, so that might explain it, bro. That might explain it.
Man,
You
I
probably
think
right.
the price of the brick went up once he hit the finals.
But I'm kind of with Frank because of the fact that a lot of people might have been out on him because of the way he went out, because of his problems. We might have got him at a discounted rate.
I think he's the cheapest out the group, bro. Maybe him and Kenny about the same, but I'm not mad at it. He's still a good coach, but I'd like to see that I don't think they would pay him like a coach that got fired for that. You know what I mean? Especially when his contract was in that range already. It would be an overpay especially in the team is damn near one of the best teams in the league right now. So they're like,
No, but it wasn't it wasn't like he was just unwanted. We seen Brooklyn was about to hire him last year. And then we seen Toronto wanted him this year. And I'm pretty sure if we didn't get him, somebody was gonna get him.
Yeah, somebody would have paid him.
Yeah, I think we just hopped on it, bro. Like we wanted him to I guess we didn't want to wait around and see.
I bet you he's gonna be the cheapest one, bro.
So
they wasn't Lamar Jackson, then, though.
If it was the case, bro, I ain't gonna lie. There's a little pattern going on. I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? This is we got our coach, but let's just keep it out.
Hey, he don't got Neil Long purse no more. He ain't got that Neil Long money no more. So
yeah. So he probably could. I'll take 2.5, bro. I ain't. Shoot, he probably ready to just buckle down and just rehabilitate it. I honestly think he would take a discount or at least take what he was getting paid, even the fact that he made a finals, just to get a shot at coaching and rehabilitating his name. And I think the Houston aspect of it, you can't, because Canada, man, you get taxed living overseas, double tax overseas. Then your family, comfortability, all that stuff. If it's Toronto or Houston, and maybe there's a $500,000 difference, bro, it's a no brainer. You know what I mean? Especially when you're at that level, you might as well just take the quality of life over whatever that money is. But I think it's a good hire. I'm just saying, keep an eye on that. I think he's probably going to be one of the lower end options because he's a new coach, which is kind of funny.
Do you think he also came here because it's kind of like a low pressure option because anything he does will be way better than what Silas ever did?
I mean, what is the bar for any coach here in Houston? What would y'all be like? Damn, this dude's a good coach. Well, for y'all, let's start Space. What do you think the bar is for you? Like for next season, what would make you be like, okay, we on the right track?
Now I'm not gonna judge him, off the muscle first year, like, oh man, he ain't this, he ain't that, because it's a long way to go for us. Like as far as the roster construction, I'm hoping Stone will help him out a little bit this season, give him some veterans to be, the extension of him on the court, and then have some more guys around that actually been there and done that. But because let's be real, I don't think we're going into this season with this same roster. It's just not gonna happen, I don't think. But I would say play in or close to a play in. At least let's say we in the play in mix. If we in the play in mix, that's a hell of a jump from where we at right now. As long as we're not in the lottery again, that means Silas was just slipping. He was just not the coach, and then as structure, how we look about going, even if we're losing, how do we look losing? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we actually looking progressing? Because I'm not gonna even expect us to look real good until maybe trade deadline next season, because they still got to
Okay.
grasp the coach. They still got to grasp his offense, his defense, how he want to do it. Do he got the right pieces around him? I still think we're still like maybe a draft or two or a free agent or two away from actually being a competent team all the way through and through. The guys still young. They're still rough. Silas didn't do them no justice. They like starting at square one. Like next year is really going to be square one, because don't look like they learned a whole lot under Silas as far as structure. And don't take this shot right here. Make this extra pass, 2-for-1s after timeout. Just the basics. I think a lot of that gonna have to come, and they're gonna have to grow and learn how to do that. So I say 30 wins, 31 wins. I'll be happy with them.
That's a fair. Real quick, we got a super chat. Joe Blue says Knicks is gone. Are we sure about that? Are we sure about that? You know what I mean? Are we sure?
If
If y'all see
we
Knicks,
keep Knicks, I'm taking everything about Stone I said. He back to trash if we keep Knicks, bro.
no, I don't think Ime Udoka is going to be the type of guy that's going to do that, bro. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Ime Udoka is going to be a guy that's going to watch his, like Steven Silas sat there and watched himself build up the worst NBA coaching record in league history over the amount of games that he coached. I can't see myself, man. You got to, like, to me at some point, either it's your fault because that's really what you are, or you're not. It's your fault because you're not strong enough to say, like, enough is enough, bro. At the end of the day, today had to come for Steven Silas. What I mean by that is that there's going to be a day where you're going to be not in this role, and your name is your name, and you're going to be sitting at your house as Steven Silas, the coach with the worst record in NBA history. And when that happened, you know what I mean? That's, you got to live. I mean, I'm sure he's proud of, there's only a few people that get to coach, but dude, you got to stand up for yourself, brother. You got to stand up for yourself.
Young Ghetto, hold
What,
on, Young Ghetto. You don't think we're
what,
going to win
what are you talking
31?
about?
I
What do
told
you
you
say?
we won 21 this year, right? And
Yeah,
my
it's
thing
15.
is
I think
always,
35.
if we get a good coach, I think he adds 10 wins to anybody's record, from the previous. So I'm gonna say 31 wins. I'm gonna keep it right there. I think just having Ime, he can give us at least just him off alone 10 more wins. So
Yeah, that's
young Edo saying I'm tripping.
10 wins
31.
easy
Now
because of
go ahead. Go
all the
ahead.
adjustments that he will do that Silas never did. When all those collapses, man, oh my god, like all those third quarter, fourth quarter collapses.
I mean, it's a low bar. We had Knicks playing substantial minutes, bro. At least what is that worth? Like 10 wins by itself? Just removing him. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all got to think about how bad like the situation was. You had the Knicks stuff. Guys like Jay Tate just getting hella shots, really going to him as a first option, which is nasty business. Jabari being like one of the worst players in the league for about 60% of the season, nasty business. Jalen not even trying for long stretches of time during the season. Nasty business. Shangoon, a lot of times just out there just doing his thing. I don't know. Sometimes it was part of the offense, sometimes it wasn't part of the offense. You literally had two sets of offenses running at the same time. They didn't have a philosophy about what they were trying to do. It was just like go out there and cook. We didn't have a point guard. You know what I mean? Led the league in assist to turnover ratio for the longest. We were the worst transition defense in NBA history, then backdoored and became the second worst in NBA history this year. Transition defense, bottom 3 worst offense and defense, like every single year. Y'all don't think if you add just adding a good coach, a point guard, you add maybe some vets to help these dudes be on point. You add, maybe a shooter here. You bring in a draft pick that's going to be have more talent than a J Gup or a Garuba. So you slide one of them down the totem pole. I mean, those are winning plays. And you look at a lot of the games, especially early on in the season, the guys were in there. It was a lot of close games that we lost due to collapses of not having a point guard, coaching being dumb, players just not giving the maximum effort. So, yeah, I'm with Space, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking over 30 wins. I think we're due for it. I think some teams are not going to be as good as they are next year, and it's probably maybe in like 2 years, man. The West is going to change over the guards to a lot of these young teams, bro. That's why I'm seeing it going. Because the Lakers, I think they got like this might be their last run, bro. Warriors, they on the ropes against Sacramento. Might be the Clippers. They look like they should blow it up at some point. Suns an injury away. The teams that I'm looking for the next, Sacramento going to be there for the next couple. They young. OKC, young, they gonna be there. Memphis, they young, they gonna be there. New Orleans, at some point, Zion got to get in shape. Goddamn it, they gonna. You don't think so? They gonna be there at some point. You know what I mean? So those are 4 teams. Denver, they could still do some things. Jokic isn't really that old, so they gonna be there. So who are the other teams that's really, maybe maybe he
OKC.
wants out. Oh, I said them already. So that's
Oh,
like 5
okay.
or 6 teams. We
Mavericks.
right there. I don't know, man. I think Luka's gone, bro. I think he gonna dip out when he get a chance. So
After the next year, I think so.
yeah, probably. I think he gonna dip out. So we there, man. The West is gonna be open, and you know what I mean. That's where we gotta just build up to this, and we got a championship coach, y'all. We got a coach that's been in the championship. EF, what is your bar for a successful season for you, man? You dope.
That's a great question. For me, I got three prong idea about how I feel about it. One, as far as statistic wise, I think a top 15 defense would be something that I would say, man, this is a good coach. I think we had a potential to be a top 15 defense. We control the pace of the game. We hit the boards. We get back in transition. We can be a top 15 defense. The other part of that is rotations, putting players on the floor because they're the best defensive player and they protect the ball and they make their free throws. So I think, just not putting the player on the floor because this is the guy we want to promote to try to trade him later or, that type of thing, like with the Knicks and Jay Sean Tate. I think a lot of that was we want these guys to play up to a value point to where they can be valuable to somebody else so we can get rid of them. KPJ might be the same situation to where it's like we want to keep presenting him as a good player so maybe somebody will get him, which I think that's a lot of why they gave him the contract. I think a lot of why they gave KPJ the contract was because we want to promote him as a good player and use him as trade bait or trade value or asset down the road. So for me, that's the second part is to see Ime Udoka say, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move. And I heard Frank say this the other day on the podcast where he said the same thing I've been saying is, let's try if we get Wemby. Let's try Şengün, Wemby, and Jabari at the 3. Robert Horry was a center that played the 3. And he did a great job getting us championships at that position. I think Jabari could be the same thing. So we see Ime Udoka trying stuff like that that's not in the norm. Tari Eason at the 2 with Jalen Green at the point. If we see him doing stuff like that, like we would see Rick Adelman do, I'm going to be like, man, this dude is a good coach. And I think, the third part of that is, just seeing him push back on, some of the stuff in the media and the press conferences and stuff, seeing him push back with detail, just having detail in the press conferences about what his objectives is and stuff like that, and not just kind of glossing over ideas and stuff like that. I think those 3 things to me Because when you see somebody sit in front of the cameras and they say, "Well, y'all had a bad game tonight," and they be like, "Yeah, well, we didn't get after it." What the what the f is that? You know what I mean? So if I see him say, "Hey, yeah, if we see him say, I made a mistake, I didn't call the timeout at such and such," like we seen Steve Kerr say, "I didn't relay the message that we was out of timeouts." That's a detailed thing that you can say in a press conference that identifies yourself as a good coach. If he says like, "Hey, we didn't get after it on possession right before the shot clock. We didn't get the 2-for-1. We were looking to push the ball up the court, and they was getting back in transition, and we didn't make a proper jet." If he says those kind of detailed things in the press conference, I'm gonna say that's a good coach. And I don't really care if we get to 30 wins. I'm with you guys. I do feel like you make your free throws, you protect the ball, you hit the glass. I do think 10 wins is easy. I believe that a lot of the collapses we made was because we were tanking. I'm gonna forever stick by that. You know, but 30 wins, 31 wins. That wouldn't make me feel like he was a good coach. That'll just make me feel like we doing something different this year. Now, if we if we beat the teams we're not supposed to beat next year and stuff like that, I'll say he did a better job than Silas.
Half the teams we beat this year is teams we weren't supposed to beat.
Yeah, so
Actually.
Right. If the
I know.
teams
Look
we were
here.
supposed to beat, we lost to.
Yeah, I don't know which is worse. Is that better to beat the good teams or lose to the teams you're not? I don't know. But we got a super chat. Kenny S says, Ime Udoka in this thing. Pimp, coach, and no, y'all leave that man alone, bro. Y'all gonna stop talking about my coach like that, man. This man
Yeah,
is not
Kenny,
out here
man. You're gonna have
pimping,
to
bro.
see me, Kenny, man. You're gonna have to see me, man.
I ain't about to be calling him no pimp, no thot. Like he out here just chasing women and I mean, you know what I mean? But we gonna get them jokes off, man. I know it's gonna
I-
be a thing all year. It's gonna be
I'm
that.
scared of the Harden Udoka combination, man. I'm
Oh
scared of that.
Lord.
I'm not with that.
Nah, that's gonna be I think he made a serious dude, bro. I mean, he got his, he has his preferences, but you made some good points. Definitely about that. One thing I will say about like I said, one thing the Celtics they have when even last year and this year, their lineups are so crazy. Like they have so many different formations. They've been times where Jaylen Brown has played point guard, and Jason Tatum has played the two, and they'll put what's that big boy Williams at the three. I've seen that where they'll put Tom Lord and Horford on the floor, so they can go super big, they can go small, they can go. So I think they value versatility. His thing is defense. Now, one thing interesting though in the finals, he did kind of stick to that Al Horford playing the drop against Steph, and that probably lost him the finals. Honestly, that was one of I've
True.
criticized him on that multiple times. That I mean, at that point, you got to go out of it. You can't just let Steph walk into open pull ups because you're just stuck on keeping your guy Horford in the game. But Horford was doing a lot of good things for them on the other parts. But it's one of those things. Horford should not have been playing in that finals, and for people that are fans of Şengün, like it don't matter who you are, bro. Some players just don't fit certain matchups. But that was something to note. But that's such a high level tactical error, in my opinion, that I mean, I'm amazed that he made it that far to even make that mistake. That's how I'm looking at it.
Wasn't
Rather than
wasn't wasn't Time Lord hurt though?
he was banged up that series. He was throughout the whole play,
Well,
pretty much the second half. But still, they could have went Grant Williams or somebody. But at the same time, Looney was killing them. So it was hard, bro.
one of the things you will see Tom Thibodeau do is like what we seen him do when he was here with Jeff Van Gundy is when the screen comes and you got a shooter, they move to the other side of the screen, turn their body lateral ways and show out long and push that ball handler back away from the screen and make them have to go all the way around and then they run back into their position instead of trying to just drop back. So you move over, you close the space, you push the ball handler out, and then you run back. So I
that's
don't know why
that's what
coach is not doing that.
and they could have done it. That's what what's his name was doing. That's what a buddy on the Sacramento doing right now. That's why his Sabonis he hard showing, then retreating back to his man before a couple of times it burns them because the Warriors are a great passing team. So by the time he retreating, they then gave it to his man. His man then passes somebody else, whoever's trying to help him out to get so before he gets back in position. But honestly, Sabonis, people inflaming Sabonis. His issues ain't been defense. it's been an offense. He's been trash on the offense. He can't make a bucket for his life. But defensively, like you can mitigate a lot of that stuff with different schemes. That's where I'll get an edge to Nick Nurse on. But now I definitely think that like the overblown people think Alp is done. I mean, y'all got to go watch the Celtics, man. They got to hell. They played Blake Griffin, and he about as slow as Alp at this point in his career. So I mean, they have
Thanks.
I think a good coach. One thing to me, like I don't even like you can look at what the Celtics did, but we don't have the Celtics players. So if Ime comes in and tries to be the mini Celtics here, then he's gonna look like Silas did with the mini Dallas thing. A good coach should be comfortable enough in looking at like Space always say, if you're gonna cook a meal, you got to cook with the ingredients you got in the kitchen, bro. You can't be trying to make steak when you got oodles and noodles in ingredients, bro. So you better make them oodles and noodles, put some butter in there, throw some shrimp in that thing, make it the best oodles and noodles you can make it. But you can't be trying to make a steak dinner if you ain't got no steak. And I think Silas, and that's the mark of a young coach, in my opinion, is that that's comfortable to them. They know what they know, and they're gonna do what they know. That's why I'm a little like we got to see can Ime adjust to the guys that we have on hand, whatever this roster form should look like. What can they build out of that? That'll tell me if he's elite more than anything else. That'll be my marker for him. We got a super chat real quick. Kenny S again says he from the Spurs coaching tree, so I'm happy. Yes, sir. That pop tree is undefeated, bro. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up.
Sigga Miggs, what you got to say on that?
So what was it again?
What's the barometer you put as a good coach if he's going to be a good coach?
So what I was hoping for this season is that Jalen and Şengün make that third-year leap, that Udoka pushes them to make that leap, and they become like they kind of more realize their potential. If that happens, I'd say that's a successful season.
Okay, let me go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No. You can go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. I was gonna.
Go ahead. I was just letting people know we dropped the link in the chat. If anybody else want to come up.
Yeah, if y'all want to come up, y'all can come up. Yes, sir. Popovich tree. So they got Budenholzer. That's the guy over in Milwaukee. So he coached at Atlanta too when they had that one team that won 60-some games. He was a coach there, championship coach. Over there, obviously you got Ime, who we're talking about. You got Becky Hammond, who's over there killing it with the women's basketball. She's already, won at that level. You also have Utah Jazz's Quinn Snyder, pop tree coach. Memphis Grizzlies Taylor Jenkins is a guy. Monty Williams from the Kings, from the Suns is a guy from there. Others like Brett Brown, they used to coach for the 76ers, a pop guy. Jim Boylan. Mike Brown is a pop guy. Jacques Vaughn on the Nets is a pop guy. I don't know who Joe Prunty is. But I just named a lot of, all those coaches, one thing they have in common, they are all very disciplined.
Didn't Steve Kerr coach under Pop?
Assistant? I think he was like a low assistant. I'm not.
He played under Pop.
Yeah, he played under Pop. I'm not sure if he coached. He might have been like on their staff or something, but I know he was a GM at Phoenix. Then he went over to Golden State. But that tree is one thing. Those coaches, look at the names I'm naming. Brett Brown. Brett Brown, Mike Brown, Jacques Vaughn, Monty Williams, Quinn Snyder, Taylor Jenkins. These are hard-nosed guys. All of those guys are very strict and disciplined and very intense in how they coach their players.
They all playoff coaches too.
Yeah, that's a dream to get them to discipline the young guys, like get Jalen to stop acting up when his shot is not falling, to get, like whenever their shot isn't falling or anything, that they kind of just give up on both ends.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be big for Jalen. He needs to stop that because that's baby stuff. Like, bro, you got to play defense. I wish somebody would somebody needs to somehow get him that video. If Jalen thinks he needs to play defense, bro, like he has to be a good defender. That's the only way this dude is ever going to be anything more than just a scorer. He has to be. I do not want Jalen to be Bradley Beal. I don't want it to be Zach LaVine, where we got him and another all-star, and we struggling to make the play in, bro. Like that should be embarrassing for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is too good to be a player of his caliber that could, as good as he is, to be battling to make the play in, bro. It's really so. I don't want Jalen in that boat. That's why I hope we get Scooter Wemby, man. That's how I hope we get Scooter Wemby. Let me see.
Even if Jalen is not a good defender, if he just hustles hard and give us 100%, 90%, if he give us 90% on the defensive end and on the glass, I'll be satisfied with that because you know it's a lot to be the number one scoring options. We all get that. You can't give 100% effort on both sides of the ball, but
Hey,
if you attack the glass and you dive for loose balls and you making it look like like they say Patrick Beverly, he fooling y'all. Fool somebody.
nah,
Just
nah,
fool
nah.
somebody. I'm
If
cool with
if
that.
if I was with you, but I want Jalen to be one of those guys, man. Like Kobe did it, Jordan did it.
No doubt. No
Wade,
doubt.
like they was dropping 40 and clamping the best player. Like, do it, bro. You were one of the best athletes in the league, dog. Like, if you don't do it, it's just laziness. That's how I see it, bro. Like, you're a
I
young dude.
I accept.
Yeah, number 2 pick. Like, push yourself. That's if he fall. I think the way I look at it is you aim at the stars and you can land on the moon. Like, aim to be like I want to be an All NBA defender. And if you end up like a Devin Booker, which is a damn good defender, and Devin, he's showing it out in the playoffs right now. Then hell yeah, we can. Yeah, man, we happy with how Jalen turned out. But all this like, I don't know who his big dog is or whoever is like mentoring him. They just need to get in his ear, bro. Like, dude, it's
KPJ
not
is
sweet out
mentor.
here. You got blind
KPJ is
leading the
mentor
blind,
right
bro.
now, bro.
That's a damn shame, but yeah, they need to get with him, bro. Like, get with him. Like, dog, it's not sweet, bro. You competing with dude, you a number 2 pick, man. You should be fighting ghosts. You out here trying to compete with these little kids. Man, I was looking at that research. Dwayne Wade was leading the team to the damn championship as a sophomore, bro. As a baby.
If Jalen was as good as defender as say Dennis Schroeder, would that be cool with you?
Hell no.
Hell nah, bro. I just told you Jordan and Kobe. You talking about Dennis Schroeder.
But they say Dennis Schroeder's a pretty good defender.
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
Aim
care,
higher
dude.
than that.
Yeah, let's aim higher than Dennis Schroeder. Like, he got a poster of Dennis Schroeder and the defensive stands on his wall. Like, that's the guy I'm gonna be. Nah, bro. Yeah, if you ain't watched the video, bro, Kobe was a 12 times all defensive player, bro. This Joker was on that team, first team 9 times. Jordan, 9 times all defense. 9 times
Uh,
all defense, bro. This dude won defensive player of the year as a 4th-year player.
I'm,
Terrorizing
I'm
everybody.
not. I'm not gonna argue. Trust me. I'm
Come
not gonna
on, man.
argue with defense at all. I'm not gonna argue with it at all. I'm just trying to, not put too much pressure on the kid
Nah,
because
we got to. That's it. Come with that.
because the one thing I see is he have trouble moving trouble shuffling his puppies in defense. He a little light in the pockets, and right now I just don't see him being a good defender. Maybe he can. Maybe he can use his quickness and his athleticism, to be a better defender. But I think more so, and I mean you can book this. I think it's between the ears. I
Facts.
think is defense for him is going to be between the ears, and that's the way he's going to have to play it because he don't have the. I don't know if y'all really hoop like that. If y'all play hoop like that. I mean, it seems like Frank played hoop, and maybe Ghost played a little football, a little bit of hoops here and there. But the thing about defense is you have to have a tenacity. You have to have a tenacity on defense that's unparalleled at all times. Like if I'm about to pass out and I can either go down here and shoot this basket, or I'm going to attack this dude for 24 seconds on the other side of the ball. I'd rather attack this dude for 24 seconds on the other side of the ball. And that's a different. It's a different kind of makeup. And I think, like you say, Kobe and those guys who weren't supposed to be as good as they were, they developed that tenacity. And for guys like Jalen, who always been the guy, it's like you got a rich kid. Your kid grew up rich. Is he going to have the hustle that you have? Probably not.
That's a good point. I ain't gonna lie. Kobe grew up in like Italy, bro. So I ain't gonna cap. But we got a super chat. $55 from your boy Plagueis
Is that
saying he just woke up.
what is that? 55. Oh, that's
I
turkey
have no
bucks. Oh, that's
turkey.
turkey.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that's turkey bucks.
I don't know what
Okay,
that
okay.
is in dollars, but what you think that is, bro?
That
Whatever it
shit
is.
straight out
Probably
of
about
Tekken, boy.
15 bucks, I would say.
Well, appreciate you. I don't
I
give a
don't
damn
know.
what it is. He said he just woke up to the best news. Hope he brings the best out of KBJ rather than losing them facts. I'm with that, bro. Love from Turkey. Shout out, brother. You probably the
So he a
first,
Shangoon fan for sure.
but he the first one to actually say something, I guess that's positive about KPJ.
Something good about
So,
KPJ.
yeah, normally they be calling him a monkey or something like that. But yeah, he the first one to actually do that. Shout out to you, Plagueis, man. I think that, like I said earlier, I think KPJ, he's gonna be moment of truth for him. Like I think, but if he accepts it the right way, I think it'll bring out the best in that dude, bro. Because I feel like he has a lot of talent. I feel like, but back to the Jalen Green defensive thing.
Oh, he
Like,
also became a member earlier too,
oh
Frank.
man, shout out Plagueis, bro.
Plagueis.
Welcome to the community. Y'all, all the Chop Shop CSG members, y'all go ahead and give him a big shout out. Big shout out. Big shout out. Everybody. Give Plagueis a big shout out. Welcome to the CSG
Shout
gang.
out.
Shout out to you, brother. But Jalen's defense thing, like, okay, I've seen him, like, he can play like one-on-one defense. His weakness is off ball. He gets lost. He got that Russell Westbrook thing where it's like if it's somebody he wants to play and he's up for it, like y'all seen what Russ does in the playoffs, like because he knows he's under a microscope. The ability is there, like you said, bro. It's between the head, like. But the difference is Russ is a dog. I'm questioning Jalen's dog, bro. That's really, to me, it's not his athletic ability. It's not even the measurables. He has the good enough measurables. He is light in the pocket. That'll come. Like by the time he's 2-3 years from now, dude gonna put on about 20 pounds, so he'll be more sturdy and stronger enough to take on those defensive assignments. The reason I'm questioning his dog, man, I don't know if he got that drive in his head to be a maniac, to be like a Kobe or a Jordan, to the point where he gets offended by even implying that you trying to challenge him. I don't think Jalen seems very cool and chill, laid back, passive. Like some of the stuff he said that disappointed me. I ain't gonna lie. We're young. We're still learning to win. Kobe, God bless his soul, would never say nothing like that, bro. You would never hear Bean talking about we young, we trying to win, bro. Like Jordan would never say that, bro. That was tanking talk. Jalen said a lot of tankish statements, and I think Silas was rubbing off on him. Another reason I'm glad we got a new coach. All them like, yeah, we just learning, we'll get better. Like, bro, we're not trying to hear that from you, bro. Your talk should be, man, it's unacceptable. Like, bro, everything a player has to say should be about winning. The coach can give us that spiel. GM can give us the whole, yeah, this is part of the process. I'm not trying to hear that from my second-year player because that means you're already a loser in your mind, bro. So definitely, I hope in between the head that it does get better there from. We got a memberships. Y'all go ahead and grab them. Damn, Space, your app thing will be going nuts right now, bro. But
bro, he
shout
just
out to
gave out
Plagueis.
20 of them, dog.
20 memberships. Shout out to your boy from Turkey, man. 20 memberships to the CSG.
Hey.
Y'all pick them up. Pick them up. Kenny has renewed. There you go, bro. Young Ghetto, get you yours. A scooter channel. Go in and grab that. Space Ghost. Damn shame.
Let me make it, Frank.
Damn shame, ain't
Don't
it?
put him on the spot. Come on.
Damn shame, ain't it? Y'all see your boy in Space?
Nah, they
I'm
do
playing,
that at
man.
random, bro. It's random.
I know. Baba Shola, shout out to you. Stream Elements. Okay, he naming all the little people that became members. Kevin M. I think Kevin is new. I ain't seen Kevin on the membership. I seen you in the chat. But if you're new, welcome. I'm gonna try to, we're gonna try to do a better job getting y'all's exclusives on the memberships. Since there's kind of a dead season now, we can work on some of the stuff. And there's gonna be a lot of content to talk about. But
hey, bro, they was clowning my dude Plagueis about the little 55 trial. They talking about, oh, that's
did they
just
translate
$3.
it?
That's just $3. This and that. He came and dropped 20
shout out to
memberships,
Plagueis, bro.
bro.
Yeah, he shot y'all up. Yeah, y'all shut up, man.
Good looking out, Plagueis, man.
Shout out Plagueis, bro. Shout out Plagueis. He had to flex on y'all. Was trying to call my boy cheap, bro.
Yeah.
Salute to you, brother.
Salute,
I don't know what
Plagueis.
the translation is. People out here, y'all out here pocket watching. What's the name of the Turkish currency?
On the cool, man. I think
that's Turkish lira.
I think that might be $100 or something like that.
Let me translate this, bro. Y'all out here lira watching.
I'm talking about them 20 what's the name?
The memberships? Yeah, that's I mean, and y'all
because
gotta
I think
understand,
that was
man,
$5 a piece, bro.
Yeah, it's what's it called? Like you gotta understand, and people from other countries, we understand, bro. Like it's not like, people's value, like what the money, we don't know what their inflation is and all that. So it don't matter what you give, bro. As long as it came from the heart, I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, bro. Look, Barkin went ahead and translated it for us. Y'all some haters, bro. Y'all out here trying to.
But he came through. He came through just now though with 20 of them. Hey, if y'all was hating on him, get that man his what's the name back. Don't take his membership.
Wait, Rob Cortez, you all right, bro? What's going on in the chat there, bro? Y'all good over here, bro? I ain't gonna post that up on the chat now, but
Oh,
y'all, he
man,
talking
this
about
dude is.
Rob. You good, bro? This is like what? We good, bro? I know they was trying to introduce somebody EF earlier. Like, I mean, hey, EF, they done got Udoka. They acting freaky. In the chat.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
hey, yeah.
They own
Yeah,
one.
if there go your per diem back, you can get your per diem back from Silas.
Damn, y'all getting freaky in the chat. Y'all done got Udoka. He done rubbed off on you. People getting freaky in the y'all relax, bro. Come
Damn,
on, man.
Rockets fans
Yeah,
is already
boy.
horny.
Bring them
Yeah,
gloves
talking
out.
about Big P Club. Come on, bro. Now, come on, dog. This ain't even that type of show, bro. This is a family show. But we gonna let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. This is going on 2 hours, man. I gotta get ready for work. But Space, any closing thoughts, man? What is the next moves for the Rockets? Like we done got our coach now. We got the draft coming up, man. What are we looking like? What is a dream scenario for you
Oh
when the
man, you know
lottery
what
comes up?
the dream like if we I ain't gonna lie. We've been even though we had some crap seasons these last 3 seasons. If we was to land, we already got our coach I wanted. My dream if we was to land Jaylen Brown some type of way, and if we get either Scoot or Wimby, I'm in hog heaven. I wouldn't complain for about 3-4 years, bro. For real, like unless we just start underachieving. I'm just sit back, lay back, and just let this thing ride, bro. I don't want to change nothing. If we get Scoot or Wimby, Jaylen Brown to go along with Ime Udoka, maybe a vet here and there. Oh my goodness, bro. I think this would be like the luckiest rebuild I ever seen. Truthfully. Like we like Lady Luck would have been shined on us, bro. So May 16th, bro. When them ping pong balls drop, man. If we in the 1 or 2, oh man, you might just see me I probably won't stop smiling, bro. For real. Like I won't stop smiling, bro.
I feel that, and shout out somebody reminding the Texans. I hope they cooking up something good because I've been hearing some funny stuff about the team, bro. I hope it's just all smoke and mirrors because if we if they mess around and do something stupid with this pick, man, I might just have to forego my allegiance with the Houston Texans. I haven't watched the full Texans game in 2 years, bro. The Rockets were getting there. If we had another bad season, man, they was gonna be in that boat. But they better shape up, bro. They on pack watch. They on
That's
pack watch,
facts.
man.
That's facts.
Yeah, Texas. EF or Sigamigs, anything before we close out?
Go ahead, Sid.
No, nothing much. Pretty much got all what I wanted to say. Just really excited about this hire. Looking forward
Yes,
to
sir.
more wins at least, or at least competence.
Facts. Appreciate that. EF.
Yeah, Joe Blue, he slapping me. He had about 105 silences in the chat. You know what I mean? So I see him over there slapping me like that. But for me, I want to see like the next step for me is we know, the 1 or 2 pick is gonna be whoever the 1 or 2 pick gonna be. So that don't really bother me. But I want to see like that. We got a 26 or a 17 or something like that.
I think it's
Whatever
20,
that
ain't it?
Nick.
The
Okay,
who? The
20
20th.
some.
Yeah, the 20th pick.
Okay, wherever that 20 pick is, I kind of want. I hope he may just bully the shit out of Stone and be like, "No, this is the player I want." If we don't trade it for somebody, I want him to just bully the shit out of Stone. Like, damn your analytics, damn this and that. This is the player I want. This is the player that fits my strategy, that fits my scheme. He gonna be able to bring X, Y, and Z, and we won't know about it. But we'll know when we see him on the court if it's a good defensive player that remind you of somebody that would have been in that Popovich, kind of mold. We might be like, okay, I think that was an Ime Udoka pick. And I hope he's able to do that instead of just let Stone do this experimentation shit that we've been seeing, man. Because, I'm not. Stone got away with one. I don't trust him. I don't really trust him yet. But I would like Ime to just flex his muscle.
I would say Stone is on the clock, right? GM gets 2 coaches. After that, he go. So if this goes awry, it's going to be on him. So I'm sure, like I said, he has no right to tell anything except the vision of the team to Ime. You know, the GM is a part of that, like basketball. Like, y'all don't get it wrong. Like, Stone does have an input as far as like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Here's our big picture view of what we want. But like stopping the drill in the middle of a coach, that's like one of the most disrespectful things. At that point, you done neutered the coach. Like he done, and to me at that point, Coach Silas, I would have stepped down. You know what I mean? I would have stepped down. Like what power you got? It's like if you're a dad and your spouse or you're a wife and your spouse keeps undercutting you in front of your children, then they get confused about who's the authority here. And to me, that's just bad business. So I don't think there's no world where Stone has the authority to openly challenge Ime Udoka when it comes to basketball. Now, if they want to have a meeting about, hey, we're not shooting enough threes, we need to do more of this. Yeah, that's normal. All the GMs do that. They have their big picture what they want to do. But yeah, if he doesn't have the, and I'm sure that's a question that came up, autonomy, and I'm just gonna assume that he just thought Silas was just that bad that he just had to step in. So, but shout out to King 00098 just became a sponsor. I'm not even sure what does that mean, Space, when they become
That's
a
a
sponsor.
member. That's a member.
Oh, okay. Shout out to you, brother. We'll try to get some. I promise, man. Me and Space, we'll try to get y'all straight, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Good times for the Rockets. Hopefully, man, I can't wait till we do a draft. We're gonna do a live stream for the draft. That's gonna be lit. Shout out to you, Space. Y'all send some love to Space. Going, they having some, not to put you on blast, bro, but all the people out there send prayers out to my boy. He handling some business right now, but real life stuff. Y'all just send prayers to him. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully the Rockets keep going on the uptrend, man. We'll try to keep bringing y'all that fire, that heat. Appreciate Siga Migs for coming up. Appreciate EF for coming up. Y'all boys held it down. Shout out to the CSGs, man. Y'all boys held it down.
We all we got,
Got it in the
baby.
coast. We all we
CSG,
got
man.
out there.